and that's to deal with airplane food.
Welcome to the pod. So before you guys got here, I was gonna eat some food real quick, and I sat down over here to watch a YouTube video,
Right.
instead of at my computer. And so I have it on a little TV through a little YouTube app, and I was like, I'm just gonna watch. I don't know, I watch Mario. So I like watch Mario. Videos are short, but I turned it on and like, there's an ad every like 2 minutes, dude. It's so bad. Which I didn't know normally because I'm on my computer with ad block, like any normal person. By the way, don't forget to subscribe. Don't turn off your ad block while you're watching this. But I was so blown away. And the worst part is, it was a League of Legends ad and a WoW ad every single time.
Really?
It was like, we got new skins, buy the new skins, skip. New WoW expansion coming out, skip. Watch 2 minutes of video. Doesn't get anywhere in a level, it just dies. But just 2 minutes in the same section over and over again. League of Legends ad. World of Warcraft ad. Finally, they mixed it up after like 7, and it was like an ad for Ned Lamont. Shout out to Ned Lamont.
Shout out to Ned Lamont.
But it was insane, and like, wow, could I care any less? They picked like the 2 things I wouldn't buy anyway.
Right.
But they're trying.
They're
trying.
You know, my friend said, I know, because she was also, like most of us, using ad block. And she's like, you know what? YouTube, they call it premium now?
Yeah.
It's not red anymore.
No, I think that got a little confusing with some other
sort of sites.
Yeah.
Oh.
I do. YouTube Premium.
YouTube Premium. And she was saying, you know, it's actually like really worth it. I was like, really?
Interesting.
It's the same thing like on Discord. Our friend Kyle was like, yeah, I paid like $5 for Nitro because we use Discord all the time, and like, all the features are worth $5 if you're on this. Like, and I was like, yeah, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it's true.
Right.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, for YouTube though, I don't really get it because the biggest argument I've heard was from Keith actually. He's like, yeah, I like to download videos, like video essays, and just listen to them while I'm driving. It's like, is that worth it though? Or I could just use AdBlock, right? And then like even then, on my phone, I watch YouTube all the time, and I just hit skip. You know, it's like
crazy.
Not that big of an inconvenience.
Right.
You know, like,
I've only gotten to a couple accidents. Trying to skip while driving.
Oh, not while driving.
No,
fuck.
Right. That and the other thing too is like it's an iPhone only problem, so you can't relate. But you can't like lock your phone while playing YouTube videos unless you have YouTube Premium.
Oh no, they do that on Android now.
They do.
I can't lock it. I can do the picture-in-picture if I go out of the app.
Into the free,
but
home of the brave.
Yeah,
unbelievable, crazy. But anyway, the reason I originally brought it up was because the WoW expansion was one thing I wanted to talk about. Because first of all, they're spending a lot of money. I think it's only fair that we talk about it for 5 minutes. But there's some like new footage out because like the alpha I think is live right now.
Yeah.
And that's all right.
what is the new expansion?
It's like
Dragonfly.
Yeah, dragon themed.
Oh,
yeah.
Dragonfly is the name. It takes place in the Dragon Isles.
Okay.
Really tight theming on their part.
Yeah.
Dragon grasp that. Yeah, it's all dragon themed.
All right.
And they have like this new mechanic where like the flying is like
more in depth.
Yeah, it's like more
oh, so you have like a little more dynamic control over your.
I think it's actually called dynamic. I think dynamic is in there somewhere. But yeah,
right.
Instead of literally just walking in 3 dimensions, it's like you swoop now. It's like it's crazy.
Oh, okay, all right.
So yeah, they're pretty excited about it, and there's a new race and class.
The race is ugly though, bro.
Yeah, it's
What's
like
the new race?
Dragonoid. It's like human dragon hybrid.
Like you know how
make that look cool, but they made it look kind of
right. So basically, they made it look like instead of having it be like Worgen, right? Yeah. So you know the Worgen where they like transform into wolves and werewolves, right?
Yeah.
They made it just like so your dragon form is just like you get some weird scales, but you still look like a regular human.
What? That's so weird.
And you get weird
I
horns.
thought they were pretty dragon-like. Were they not?
Not from what I saw.
Oh, all right.
I don't know if I'm just fucked up and
You
I
might be
remember
wrong.
it.
You might be
Right.
wrong, but it's fine.
That might be just a human form I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But the human form was like fucking ugly. Like way worse than anything I've seen in a while before.
Oh no.
But the fun thing is, so there's a new hero class.
Yeah.
And only the new race can be the new hero class.
Right.
What's the new hero class?
Evoker, right? That's what it's called?
Yeah. You basically, it's all dragon themed.
Yeah.
Really, again, type theming. So it's like, there's like 4 schools of dragon magic to do.
Right.
Okay.
I think it's damage and healing are the only specs.
And you get like smash inputs on shit too,
Oh,
so it's like
yeah,
actually dynamic combat. Like the best I've seen, at least from trailers, what it looks like to me. You ever played the MMO Terra?
Mm-hmm.
T-E-R-A?
I love Terra. Shout out to
did.
Terra. Yeah.
Shout out to Terra. I used to play the fuck out of Terra. God bless him. But I used to play the fuck out of Terra, but it had this like shit where it was, you know, like you could hold skills for more damage or different actions and shit. So they're doing that with this Evoker class, which seems cool in theory, but I don't know how it will mesh with like regular WoW combat. Because you got guys just standing there hitting one button and getting all the ability out, and you got to sit there holding it like an asshole.
Yeah.
You got to read the boss movement too.
Right.
Also, would there be, I guess, a reason for you to not like? hold
maybe.
it?
I don't know.
maybe aggro,
Or it
like
might
less
just be
aggro?
you are really, really bad at old content.
Oh,
That
okay.
class,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Okay.
they structure the new content around it, but the old content you just get fucked on.
Yeah.
Can't even like solo
Right.
rage for transmog. Like, I need to carry through Molten Core. It looks interesting, but one of my favorite parts is a clip I saw from Asmongold
Mhm.
when he went to go play the class. So you know how like in WoW, I don't know how much WoW you've ever played.
The last expansion I played
Okay.
and bought was Burning Crusade.
Cool.
Oof,
All right. So have you ever,
when it came out?
if you
and that was
played
it.
enough and you get like an epic and you go to delete it, you know how it says like you have to type delete,
Yes.
right? So when you go to play Evoker, it's like careful, warning. This is an advanced class. It is not for beginners. Are you sure you want to try this? You don't want to come back and come, you know? And so you say, no, I'm sure. I don't want to come back. I want to try it. You click through and it says, all right, if you're sure that you want to try this advanced experience, type advanced in the text box.
Yikes.
Yeah, of all the words I could have picked, it's just type advanced. So he sits there, he's cracking up. He types
Computer,
advanced.
activate
Yeah.
advancement.
Right. Give me a hat warble. Yeah. And so you sit there, you type advanced, and then you get to play the class, which is easily
Right.
the funniest part of the whole thing. So
Oh, weird.
crazy. You know, it's a good turn for the game, I guess. But
Okay.
boy, do
Right.
I not care.
Right.
I'm
So,
kinda-
how do you both feel about WoW? Because I don't know how you both like the last expansion. I mean, like right now,
WoW, Blizzard as a company, not great.
not great. No.
But WoW as a game, Shadowlands, personally, the end game content in it kind of sucked. I'm hopeful for this new expansion because they got that like huge ass dev team that just came in, right?
Oh no, I don't know about that.
Oh yeah, so there was this.
You didn't hear about anything that happened at Blizzard?
Nope.
A lot of new people there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So
crazy story.
you know that like Wizard MMO Spellbreak or not MMO?
Oh,
Battle
Wizard
Royale.
101, yeah.
Yeah. It's like a Wizard Battle Royale that was called Spellbreak.
Oh yeah, I do know.
Yeah.
About that.
So Blizzard bought out that whole studio and put the entire Spellbreak team into the WoW team.
Weird.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems good for the game, but we got to see how
Right.
things pan out with
Oh, you know, I
Blizzard
just-
on the business front.
Total sidetrack, but I thought I can't wait for Matt to just be like, "Yeah, did you hear about this thing?" And now that we're on the pod, someone in the comments will be like, "He's lying. That's just
I
that's not true. That's not true
Yeah.
at all."
You're gonna get used to.
Yeah.
I'm a
Matt's
classic
lies.
fib.
Right,
Yeah,
They
classic
keep
fib.
gaslighting.
But sometimes he does tell the truth.
Right,
Actually,
right.
you sometimes you get me. I'm just like, why did I let that one?
right,
By?
right.
And then you call out, I'll say the most simple shit like, hey, did you hear they're coming out with, like, Kirby's doing a collaboration with a cookie brand? And you're like,
Yeah.
fuck off.
Yeah, right. I don't believe that for a
And I'm
bit,
like,
dude.
you guys hear Microsoft shutting down? And you're like, really?
Yeah. Bill Gates just went. He went rogue.
He hit the big button.
Yeah. Hit the big button. Bill Gates. So yeah,
Shout out
definitely
Billy.
very excited for people to tell you that you're wrong. But the problem is, we'll still get got. Like,
Yeah,
in the moment.
Yeah.
And they'll be
We
like,
won't
I
know
can't
until
believe
the
you
next.
two fucking idiots.
Right.
Believe that.
You didn't hear about Microsoft? Come on. It's ridiculous.
So So what else? What else has been going on? What have you been playing?
Just a lot of Valorant. Just a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
Valorant, dude.
Big Valorant.
Big Valorant gamer.
So one of the reasons I didn't install that game was because I heard they were running. Oh, thank you very much.
It just looked a little too far.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, just block Matt's face with it.
Yep.
Would be perfect.
There you go, yup.
Very nice.
Is that you have to install a always running.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Vanguard. It's
Yeah.
great, and it
Always-
fucks your system up
yeah.
in so many
So
ways.
that's why it was like, no, I think I'll pass on
Yeah,
that.
definitely very legitimate reason not to play that. One of my friends was getting into it because he was like a guy I played CS:GO with,
Yeah.
and he's like, yeah, like this looks cool, like I want to give it a shot. But Vanguard like stopped his cooling system in some way,
That's horrible.
and so he was just like, hey, I realized my temps were running a little high, and then he booted back up without Vanguard, and it was totally fine.
That's
So
wild.
a little weird. It's also like from a Tencent owned company, so
Yeah.
Right.
also a
Well,
little
he-
weird. But if you just don't care, if you
Mhm.
it's a pretty good game.
If I could get a separate computer that I just don't give a
Right,
shit on.
right.
That could be the
Spyware computer.
spyware. Yeah,
The Tencent spyware computer.
Yeah.
Just a fake name on everything that touches that computer.
I mean, in the early days, it was way worse. From what I
Yeah,
understand, it's gotten pretty good. The only issue I've had with it recently is it really does not like, for whatever reason, Windows Defender on my computer.
Interesting.
If I am running Windows Defender
It's trying to
and
take
playing
over.
Valorant,
That's why.
yeah, and playing Valorant, my whole computer just shits the bed. It just freezes up. And then it's even worse, because then I have to restart my whole computer, and then Valorant says, hey, you were AFK. So I get fucking penalized on my account because their game crashed on me, and I get put in Valorant jail, so I can't play with my friends for like an hour because I gotta sit there in the fucking Lever Buster queue.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Oh, and I doubt they would do much about it.
I was
since-
worried, because there was one time I got like 5 in a row, and I was
Yeah.
like, I really don't want my account getting
Yeah, he
banned.
thought he was going to get banned. He
Oh,
put
no.
a
I
ticket
put a
in to
support
Riot.
ticket in,
Yeah.
and I was like, yo, this is what's been happening. Do you have any idea how to help me? Because I don't want my account to get banned. I spent like probably around $100 on skins,
Sure.
right?
Oh my
That
So I
god.
part's not
was
a
like-
lot. I can,
Yeah.
Yeah, I have spent a lot of money on skins, unfortunately. But, yeah, it was like, I don't want my fucking shit to get banned, bro. And he's like, I can't do anything about that. I know it's frustrating, but
sorry,
that's what we
Chief.
got. Yeah.
I love when one of the biggest companies in the world will tell you, sorry.
Sorry, go kill yourself.
Me calling
Yeah.
Microsoft in like 2009 or whatever,
Yeah,
my fifth 360. Did you try turning it on and off again? A lot, dude. Trust me. Like, is it plugged in? Oh yeah, it's plugged in. It's not
Mhm.
4 red rings. It's 3.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
God. Well, how many Xbox 360s red ring? What was like the cumulative like?
It was
number?
a high percentage. I think it was like 70% of the base. model
That's
Xbox.
insane.
Yeah.
I
Actually-
feel like they don't deserve to have.
I don't
like,
have the
the
exact number,
numbers
but I
to
think
say,
it's
like,
around
look how
there.
many consoles the Xbox
I think-
360 sold and exploded.
Somewhere in this stack, I think I have Perfect Dark Zero.
You do.
Oh, yeah, it's right over
Yeah,
here.
which
Yeah.
is a game I remember playing because it was like one of the few games that was out.
Yep.
At launch 360, and I remember
Right.
like Christmas Day,
Yeah.
a month after I got my 360. I think I'm on like my second or third one already.
Yeah.
I just remember like getting on a zip line in a single player in that game, and just like she like throws the thing over, grabs on, hits the zip line, and right when the camera changed, my shit bricked, and I was
my
like,
God.
this is weird. Like what's going on? Like
Dude.
so suspenseful. And I look down, and my thing is just like
Yeah.
red ring, and I was like.
Oh.
And dude, like I'm gonna call it Microsoft support like on Christmas Day.
Right.
No, I had to be miserable for like 2-3 days or whatever. Then call them back and run through that same thing. Like, is it plugged in? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
My dad is a huge like Halo guy,
Right.
right? I mean, me and John are as well, but my dad is like really, really big into Halo.
Just imagine your dad trying to get the Legendary Collection helmet on.
We bought him
Oh,
that
no,
for
it's-
Father's Day when Halo
Oh,
3 was
God.
coming out. We bought him the Legendary Edition. But he was so fucking mad. It was the first time we ever had Xbox Red Ring. He had just gotten Halo 3. He was all excited. It was, fucking launch day. We went to midnight, whatever.
Hell yeah.
He gets to just the second mission. When you get back to the base, there's like the intro cutscene that plays where the Pelican flies in, you see Chief.
Right.
And then the camera switches. It's a very similar thing. Like, so you see Chief come into the base and camera switches. Whole thing fucking breaks.
Nice.
And my dad was pissed because he couldn't get the disc tray out. So he was like, he was on a phone screaming at Microsoft about how he needs his fucking game of Halo out and he needs a new Xbox. Like, he eventually got it, and he decided he didn't want to wait either because he was so excited. So he just went out and bought a different Xbox, and then when that other one got back from being red ringed, he was like, "This one's just yours now, and this one's mine." I'm like, "Okay."
Oh my God.
My brother had a similar situation because after I got mine, I like saved up my own money. I bought my own, and I was two older brothers, for those who don't know on the pod, and so they always got the cool consoles. But this is like the first time I was old enough for my console, so I got the 360, and I was so thrilled. And my brother got one because he was mad that I wouldn't share mine, and I was like, "This is revenge for Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis," And so I had mine. He went and got his own. And his red ring too, and I told him like how you got to call Microsoft support. They send like a tag, you got to ship it back out, you got to wait. And he's like, "Oh, that's crazy. I'm going to allegedly, this story didn't actually happen. Hypothetical. He would just he'd go to like a store and buy one, and then just like return one. And like he was just like, I don't want to wait 3 weeks. And I was like, I don't think that's allowed. He's like, oh. Okay. Like, all right. So the next time it broke, he called Microsoft support because the method he thought of doing hypothetically was not allowed.
Right.
But dude, it was so crazy. Like epidemic of broken consoles.
It was insane.
Probably the worst launch of all time.
It's honestly, especially compared to consoles before then. Like you didn't hear about a lot of hardware bricking. Like usually that shit was stable.
Right.
No, you could drop a GameCube off a highway overpass and the car would get hurt. Like,
exactly.
Like
I did.
Hurt
a lot of people.
Allegedly.
I heard a lot of people.
He's wanted in 6 states.
It's like a sand block in Minecraft.
I got 20 of these.
They're just like hook shotting him.
I got 20 of these and I'm a delinquent.
You know me.
What else was there? There was something about bad fucking hardware launches I wanted to talk about.
Virtual Boy. That's actually, I have one upstairs. I want to put that.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Is it working? Like
if you can find 6 AA batteries,
I have a ton of.
I could get it working. I got it upstairs. I got Tolero Boxing, one of the
way.
Hell yeah!
What?
One of my favorite games of all time. It's basically Mike Tyson's Punch Out, but you're in mechs.
Yep.
And one of the bosses is a girl robot who her special move is instead of punching you, she like holds her hands back and she shoots her boobs at you. It's insane.
That rules.
It's truly out of its time or behind. I'm not sure. But.
It's placed right in the time where the last time it could have been.
Right.
The time where it needed to be.
Born too late. Born too early to fight with robots. Too late to get shot with boobs. I don't know. It's somewhere.
Even Bayonetta wouldn't do that.
She would never. No, she would never. That's a good topic too. Bayonetta 3.
Oh Lord,
good trailer.
Yeah,
very excited for that.
I'm very excited. I mean, I still got to catch up. I haven't even played Bayo 1.
Right.
So.
Yeah, you are a failure in some ways.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Crazy game though. Which it's funny too because I thought I didn't like that genre.
Really?
And then I bought like one game by accident that was just like a beat 'em up, kind of like not arena fighter, like brawler, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, like the over the top
fucking.
fucking.
And I was like, no, this is fun. This is like what Kingdom Hearts should be.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm
getting roasted for that one.
Yeah.
Although I got Kingdom Hearts back here.
Just
fucking, the rest of them suck. That's all.
See, he has it, so it's
I'm
okay.
a real one, yeah.
The best hack and slash, real
That's
quick.
awesome.
Dante Inferno. Dante's Inferno.
Dante Devil May Cry. Dante's Inferno.
My
No,
friend
from the book.
swears by that game.
That game rules. My mom actually got it for me when I was in
Catholic game.
in 7th grade for Valentine's Day.
That's
she
sweet.
bought it for me.
Maybe this will teach you a little more about.
And then she got really upset because apparently the employee didn't tell her what was in the game. So when I
mean, that's got to be one of the most, like it says what's on the tin situation.
well, I mean, it's
Dante's
crazier
Inferno.
because, like, you know, she got really mad. She saw me. I like played it by myself or whatever. Then she sees me do the Lust boss fight.
She has like her mom's superpowers kicked in.
Exactly. She sees. She walks in on me walking into the tower at the end of the fucking
like that?
at the lust ring,
Okay.
where it's Cleopatra, right? Where she's got her full boobs out, like it's fully exposed.
Okay.
You walk into this tower and there's just an elevator with dicks around it, and you stand up there. And then Cleopatra's got, instead of nipples, she's got just like these big holes in her nipples.
No.
Okay.
And she goes like this, and she grabs a bunch of, in the game, they're supposed to be non-baptized babies that when they die, they go to hell. And
Please,
Satan
someone in the comments tell me this is fake.
No, this is real.
Please.
So Satan, what he does to the unborn, or the unbaptized babies, he puts like claws on their hands, and then they're enemies in the game. So Cleopatra grabs them out of her boob and just throws them onto the elevator. And you gotta fight him, and then you gotta beat the shit out of Cleopatra, and then she goes, falls out the tower. It's a very funny game.
I did hear about the...
Very funny.
You do fight Satan in that game, right?
You do, yeah,
And
at the end.
he is...
Well, you fight Lucifer.
I fight Lucifer. But I hear
Right.
he's cloven hooved. He has like the
Yeah,
big hooves,
yeah.
and his cock is just out. And apparently it flops around when you like hit
It's got
him.
physics.
Yeah, it's got physics.
God bless whoever had programmed that. The Havoc engine pulling overtime.
Game's cool though, man.
Yeah.
Game was fucking sweet.
So- I would like to wrap this into a topic that we have talked about. What games were you not allowed to play? Because
Bayonetta.
okay, yeah, well, I guess so. Yeah.
Well, you want
Why
to
you
tell
never-
that?
Oh yeah.
Never
My
finished
dad bought that game, and he was really excited to play. And then I get around to playing it one day. My grandma, who lived in the same house as us, she was just sitting there watching me play games one day, and I was boot up Bayonetta. I got like just through the intro, effectively through the tutorial.
It's like Umbran Clock.
Yeah,
section.
like that little bit. And then you see Bayonetta do like her whole hair suit transformation thing.
Right, yeah.
My grandma, who's passed, but she was a very old Polish woman.
Bless her heart.
She like traditional Polish woman, so she was like, "What is this? This is too sexual. Turn this off." And then yelled at my dad for like 20 minutes for even bringing the game into the house. Because I was like 13 when it came out.
Bayonetta's in the background, like, avocado. Yeah.
So I've always wanted to finish up playing Bayonetta. My friend let me borrow Bayonetta 2 when it came out, because it came with Bayonetta 1 on the Wii U.
Yeah. It unfortunately did come out on the Wii U, which is a big bummer.
Yeah. And then I got to pretty much the same exact part. I just met Rodan in the bar,
Mhm.
and then my friend was like, "Hey, psych, I'm moving across the country. I'm going to need my game back."
Wow.
I'm like, okay.
I think you'll have a legitimately awesome
I
time
mean, I
getting
really
through
liked
those.
what I played.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Big grandma energy from your friend, though. No Bayonetta. It's messed up.
So
How about you guys?
So there was this game, and I still love it. Have you ever heard of a point-and-click game called Toonstruck?
No, what the heck?
No.
So it came out in 1996. It was on the PC.
That was before I was born.
That's
Yipes.
Don't say that.
So, and I remember going to the GameStop at the Danbury Mall. Actually, it wasn't even the GameStop. It was the Electronics Boutique.
the
that
EB
was
Games,
I
yeah.
love EB.
Yeah, the EB Games. For those of you who don't know, at this one mall there were 3 soon-to-be GameStops.
I
They
love
were
that, yeah.
Babbage's, EB Games, and Games.
Babbage's.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
yeah. Oh, that's right.
He's a
That's
child.
right.
Ignore
Yeah,
him.
I don't
That's
even know
right.
that.
I was actually
Yeah.
gone. No, I don't think it was gone by the time you were born, but it probably didn't.
No,
even
because
matter.
I remember it. So it must have been like 97 at
Right?
least. Yeah. We'll Google it later.
Yeah, but anyway,
Crazy, yeah.
So so this game is okay. You play as this guy who's an animator who is Christopher Lloyd. So it's
That's
Oh,
crazy.
that's awesome.
So
yeah.
you play as Christopher Lloyd throughout this whole game.
Okay, I love that.
You are basically working for this soulless company who they basically put out this very cute bunny rabbit cartoon, and he's like the lead animator, and he's burnt out.
Right.
Remember Ben Stein?
Yeah, yeah.
He's like the guy in charge of the
Ben
company.
Stein and his money.
And
which
his
is the
money.
one,
And his
yeah.
money.
Yep.
So,
Why did he have money?
I don't know.
Okay.
Why do we need Ben Stein's money?
Is that a
He
conspiracy
shouldn't have
theory?
it. That's all that matters. He
shouldn't.
should not have it.
He should not.
It belongs to the people.
Exactly.
So Ben Stein.
So Ben
and Christopher
Stein
Lloyd.
tells him, all right, you've been drawing this rabbit. Now we need you to draw a bunch of friends for this rabbit and like overload you even more.
Right.
Meanwhile, this guy, Christopher Lloyd's character, his name is Drew Blank.
Okay.
Um,
That's funny.
that.
And
That's good.
so he has aspirations to do his own cartoon with this character named Flux Wildly, and it's just like this very manic looking character, almost like the Animaniacs,
Okay.
but a little more crazy looking.
They did have manic in their name, yeah.
Exactly, that's true. They did. And that character is played by Dan Castellaneta.
Who's that?
He does Homer Simpson.
Oh,
This
okay.
is an insane
It-
roster.
Yeah.
When you play this game, it's like every 80s, 90s voice actor you can think of at their prime,
Yeah.
like doing this game.
Billy Crystal?
Maybe, you know what? I don't think so, but I don't know. Maybe
Maybe.
He did a lot.
Maybe. He
Billy
did
Crystal
do a lot.
as a voice actor.
I was just following him blindly. I don't actually.
I don't
know.
remember. That might not be his name then.
That sounds fake, actually. Now,
He,
The
I mean,
fellow from Futurama. What the fuck's his name?
that's
Not Billy.
Philip
Crystal.
Fry,
Billy
Philip J.
West.
Fry.
Billy West.
Yes,
Right,
Billy
right,
West
right.
is definitely in there.
Because he did a shitload back then.
He did. He
Yeah.
was like all over the place.
Prolific.
He's
So
like the
very-
Nolan
quite
North of the 90s, honestly.
Yes. Honestly, oh my god.
nice.
Yeah. So anyway, so the game, it's like 4 a.m. The TV turns on, and then he gets sucked into the TV into his cartoon world. So you're
I
in,
remember
you
this now.
play in this cartoon world, but you're just a very realistic Christopher Lloyd walking around,
So it's
looking haggard as shit.
It's like a reverse, like Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
That's what I was
Yes.
just going to
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
yeah.
That's exactly it.
One real man in cartoon world.
Exactly. So you and Flux basically have to try and get him out. And I really wanted to play that game because I was just like, oh, this looks awesome. And I was probably 10. I was 10 at the time. And I went to go with my mom. And I wasn't paying attention. But the guy who was working the counter was like, this game is... I don't think you want to get him this game. I was just like, just because there's a lot of suggestive content in
That's
it.
insane. What the
You
heck?
know, and my mom was just like, I don't remember what she told me at the time, but it was like it may have been like, they don't have the game or something like that.
She
or,
lied.
I don't know if she lied or not.
Okay.
It was either just like it was more just like a, oh, dang it, I guess I'm not playing it, whatever. I did eventually play it, and so there's this part in the game where there's like a happy section of the world and then a malevolent section of the world.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the bad guy, who's played by oh my gosh, what's his name? He was in Rocky Horror Picture Show. He was the doctor.
Tim Curry?
Tim Curry plays
Wow.
the bad guy.
What is
Love
this?
that.
Is
I need to
insane.
play
Yeah.
this. What
Yes,
the
you,
fuck?
you do. Actually, you both should.
All right.
It's he is creating this thing called the Malevolator, and it's basically
That's
turns
sick.
all
That's
good
rules.
stuff into just bad stuff. So he turns sections of the good world to the bad world. So one of them is this really happy farm with this sheep and this cow, and and this horse, and the horse is like old and like on his
Yeah,
way out,
relatable,
but the cow
relatable.
and the sheep are very upbeat.
Yeah.
That section gets malevolated, and you go back to it, and the cow is strapped up on a wheel, and the sheep is in a dominatrix outfit and
That
whipping the
rules.
cow.
Okay.
And the horse is not there anymore,
Oh,
but they certainly turned parts of him into glue.
gotcha.
I was just going to say, is there like a bottle of glue just
Yeah,
hanging
you,
out?
You have to use the bottle of glue at a certain point. But this game is actually available on GOG.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So if you do want to play it, it's like super cheap
Of course.
and definitely worth it if you're interested. So
That's crazy.
check it out.
So you weren't allowed to play it. It's
So I
so
was,
sad.
and I totally, when I got to that point, I was just like, oh, I get
Yeah.
it. That's okay. I
Glad I
understand.
For my story is not as nearly as interesting, but as a callback, I did have the 2 older brothers. So by the time my parents had me, they were like, "We'll figure it out. It's whatever." So basically, like the only thing I can remember not being able to play is like when we had Mortal Kombat.
Oh, no.
We had it for Super Nintendo because we bought it from Blockbuster, and we had it for Genesis because basically like through some family gifting one brother one console and one game, so on and so
Yeah.
forth, we ended up with the same game twice.
Oh,
And so I got to play it on the Genesis because there
Nice.
wasn't blood.
now, was that the version you could unlock blood on?
I believe so,
Right,
but I was
yeah.
dumb because I was
yeah,
4.
Oh, I didn't.
Like-
Yeah, I didn't even
but-
know. I remember my
But
friends
yes,
tried to do it. I was like, I
I
don't
think
know.
you could unlock the blood, but I did not know how to, so I just played the sweaty Mortal Kombat version.
That Sega Genesis version of Mortal Kombat is what played a big part in prompting the creation of the ESRB.
That's
Yeah,
right.
true,
That
yeah.
and Night Trap, right?
Yeah,
Night
and
Trap.
Doom,
Night
I
Trap.
think too.
Night
And
Trap's
Doom
on
too.
the Switch, isn't it?
Not only is Night Trap on the
Yeah.
Switch,
Yeah.
Night Trap got this big, just like, yo, it's the 25th anniversary of Night Trap.
Yeah.
We're gonna put out like
They put out like a Sega Genesis long case version
They
of
did.
it and crazy shit.
That's
Yo.
scary, yeah.
that game is fun to look at and
Yeah.
like try, and then you're like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah, yeah.
It is a poorly implemented idea that actually is like
Seemed like a cool idea.
kind of fun. Yeah.
Was it like an FMV, like
Yes.
choose
So-
your own adventure type thing?
so
Sort
you're
of like
this-
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Honestly,
In
kind
the
of.
strangest sense,
Yeah.
you
Yes.
like keep switching between security cameras.
Freddy Fazbear trying to sneak a peek at the co-eds.
So like you have to switch between these security cameras while
Right.
these bad dudes are creeping around. And you got to hit a button to like activate a trap that these like weird government agents have put in this
Yeah,
house.
you are the SWAT dude who was just hired, and you're like you get the first person view.
Right, yeah,
so
you're
the other
in the
SWAT dudes
van.
are like, is this the guy you think you should be bringing along
and
to
you
this
have to
job?
and you have to survive for 5 nights.
No, it's just one.
Just one. Okay.
Just one
5 hours. I don't.
Yeah.
But you're given control. Actually, and I think they get rid of it in the modern version. But I remember, I think on the Sega CD version, the lieutenant gives you like, and this is what you're going to be using. He pulls up a Genesis controller.
Yeah, they
Okay.
do.
It's just like you got to use this to like.
I think it's now like a bonus content part of the
Oh,
game.
it was?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think they put like everything
Yeah.
in that edition. So yeah, it's possible. But yeah, you're set up with like 10 different security cameras, and
That's
they're
a
all
lot.
parts of this house.
Are they partying in Fort Knox?
Kind of. They're like it's like a summer home.
Yeah, it's
And-
like a really fancy like house you'd see in a movie.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And you're just some 90s teen girls and
So
and
yeah.
And
And-
boys.
and
It has
boys,
some
that's true,
boys.
there's some
Okay.
boys there.
Okay.
But there's like, I kind of like that the story is happening all at once. So whatever these characters are doing at the time, that's happening at the exact same time that other characters are doing something.
Nice.
So they sync up all this video, and I think the things are called augers. They're like vampires.
Oh,
They
okay.
have this fucking this gun that's like it's like a little drill they put up to your neck to like drain your blood. They like
Yeah.
trap you like around the neck, and then they like drill into your neck.
Yeah, they
and
got like
then
a funny claw contraption on it.
Yeah.
What the heck? Like the thing people use to pick up garbage?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
But then they add a little like drill to it
Okay.
to like suck your blood out.
Sure. Yeah.
And all these augers are all in black suits, and they walk around like this.
As one does. Yeah.
I'm sorry you can't see that for those of
Yeah.
you who are just listening.
For the
but,
audio listeners, they walk in like a little wacky, little quirky way.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, a
a
little
quirky
wacky way, yeah.
And but the house is rigged with traps that
Right.
either you could trap the girls or boys with, or the augers with. So that means like walls that will just like push out, and then they'll fall into a pit.
Or if somebody's like leaning against a closet, you can activate it and it falls into a slide and shit.
Yes. Wacky. Game.
Insane. Okay. Yeah.
Definitely
It's way
worth checking
more.
out.
Way more than I thought was
Yeah.
going to happen when I saw that game. But geez.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the Night Trap lore. That's-
Yeah, Night
insane.
Trap is responsible for the ESRB.
Yeah.
It's just so weird because like
Because
when
they
you
were
look
like,
at it-
it's weird. You're creeping on these young women. And like,
You have to be at least 17 to do that. It's messed up.
random ass sidetrack.
Oh,
but
please, yeah.
You had mentioned
That's what we're
Homer
here for.
Simpson earlier
yes.
in that game. I recently saw a clip from The Simpsons from an episode that came out in 2022 that made me laugh. And I was a little upset, but I was
Oh.
amazed that The Simpsons still had a
Okay.
good joke
When
in
you
it.
started this story, I thought you were going to be like one of those like old people on Facebook who share like a Photoshop Simpsons thing. Can you believe
No.
they said Joe Biden's going to win the election?
So they did this episode. I found out it came out in March of 2022, and it was like, it's as The Simpsons is now, severely out of touch.
Yeah.
Recapping of current events, like Ralph gets Supreme shoes, and they're like all the rage, and Bart wants a pair and whatever, and Homer buys him knockoffs and whatever, and then
You got the Fugazi.
yeah, so he buys
Love
these
that,
like
yeah.
shitty knockoffs. Bart gets all embarrassed, but then meets the owner of Supreme, who's like this TikTok influencer kid,
Oh my god, that sounds
and they
miserable.
literally call him a TikTok influencer. and like it's a whole big bullshit thing. But there's a bit where they're eating dinner and they're eating tacos, and Homer takes a bite of his like taco and the fucking thing explodes. And Marge's like, homie, they're hard shell tacos. You got to bite from the bottom, right? And so she takes a bite from the bottom, and it takes a second, then explodes. And in like the most like my family member just died like mournful voice, she just goes, "Why? Why do I keep buying hard shell tacos?" And it fucking killed me. I don't know why. It was just like the really severe tone of her voice was like hysterical.
It's actually kind of funny.
Yeah,
That's
and I was just mad that Simpsons made me laugh in 2022 more than anything.
They just had to get cerebral enough. I can't even I'm trying to even fathom that joke being written. Just like, what if your taco exploded if you bit it wrong?
Dude, it's even funnier because it's not like just the taco shell crumbling. They like explode, just like go on the walls and shit.
Like a grenade?
Yeah. It's fucking great.
Jeez. Man. Didn't expect that level of absurdity from the Simpsons.
Right, yeah.
No. Usually a little more grounded, but that's also not true.
I was going to say, like, even good Simpsons, my opinion.
Yeah,
right.
Was like absurdist, but even then it was like for just like a moment.
Right.
The only ones that got really absurd are Treehouse of Terror.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are like, that's allowed.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they know it's like, we don't have to follow the rules now.
Yeah.
We don't have to follow the rules.
It's the funny Halloween episode. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
Exactly. Speaking of doing whatever you want, Max.
Yes.
What do you want?
What do I want?
What do you want? If you had to pick one thing to talk about, maybe from like a list of things.
Oh my gosh!
What would you? What would you pick?
Let me look longingly this direction and think about it. I'm thinking,
if you ever
talk about Sonic the Hedgehog?
Okay.
We don't have enough people talking about Sonic the Hedgehog.
Not in this world. Not enough people.
Sonic content creators are lacking.
They are, honestly.
So yeah, on the topic board, just for the listeners, you have Sonic the Hedgehog. Where do you stand? Because I feel like that's a very important thing to set straight.
Absolutely.
And I probably have the coldest take, so I could go first. But I like Sonic, Adventure, 2 Battle, 4 the Nintendo GameCube.
Probably in my top 3 games of all time. But I'm just a huge Sonic guy, so
I also like Sonic Heroes.
Ooh.
Only because I remember it being
good.
Like
the Greek food?
Yeah, Sonic Gyros. Yeah. But I remember being good, and I will not go back and play it. I will not. Someone put a gun to my head and said, "Replay Sonic Heroes." I'm done.
It's not that great on replay.
Shut up! No. So those are 2 games I like, and then I have tried some new Sonic games, just not for me. The newest one looks kind of lame, but I still might give it a shot.
Oh, Frontier?
Yeah, the one that's going to come out. Sorry.
That
looks cool, but silly.
Yeah,
it looks oddly bare, and I don't know why they are afraid to like not use the aesthetic of Sonic in that weird cartoony way, because it's so appealing. Right. It looks so much like what he is, but to use such a realistic world.
Yeah, exactly.
They love doing that.
They love just making photorealistic humans and then putting Sonic.
They just think it's the funniest thing in the world. Yeah.
Has Sonic ever had to shake a hand in any of those games? Like a human?
Yeah, he held hands. Yeah, I was gonna say. Right. They made out on film.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Weird.
Digital film.
That was my first 360 game. Probably messed me up.
I'm glad you said that. I thought you were going to say first something else. Where do you stand?
Well, before I ask, I'm sorry, before I say where I stand, I have to ask, when he did kiss the human girl, because his mouth is off to the side, did he have to like press her head up to
No, it was
side?
direct.
It was direct. Wow, so he contorted his mouth to get his lips up onto the... Oh, man.
And her nose touches his mono eye.
You go home on your own time and watch it, all right? I don't know what to talk about.
I really don't want to ever watch that video, but, maybe I will, just so I can understand.
I 100% of that game.
You 100% in 06?
Yeah.
So...
Wow.
Man,
how about insane?
Oh, there's so much to ask. I heard the demo of that game is more polished than the final game.
Because the loading times aren't as bad, and I don't understand why.
There's less to load, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and I assume they just did not optimize. Oh, sorry, didn't optimize anything in that game.
I mean, I'm sure it's been said to death, but the loading times in that game are just fucking silly. Because you'll talk to someone that will give you quests, and then they'll be like, "Okay, you want to do this quest?" You hit yes. It gives you a loading screen.
Nice.
And then comes back in. The guy talks to you. He's like, "Hey, I need you to run around and go through 5 rings." And then you hit A to hit OK, and then it gives you another loading screen. And then you wait on that for 5 minutes, and then you're like, okay, now we can play the game.
Wow.
And then you get like 2 minutes of playing the game, and then they give you another loading screen to get you back into
Sonic
the world.
the menuing.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's fucking crazy.
I love it
Impressive.
because it's also he's got to go fast.
Right.
It's like only at very specific times, not all the time.
Right.
That's incredible.
Just a human asking Sonic to do that. Like, you're just like, welcome to the island of schizophrenia.
You just
I gotta get this little blue guy.
Sonic. You gotta go.
There's literally
here and there.
the first guy you talk to is just like, hey, what's up? You're a weird blue guy. I got these new shoes. You want to try them? And you're like, yeah.
The Supreme.
And then they're just like, all right, bet. Here's your light speed shoes. And then you just run through some rings. And he's like, thanks for doing that. You proved my shoes can work. You can keep them. And that's the first mission.
Incredible product placement.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Remember when they did that with soaps?
Yeah,
That's
I
it,
remember
too.
that. Yeah.
That's right.
That's crazy.
But anyway, where do you stand officially?
Yes.
Sonic is very complicated. I'm sure for a lot of people, he's a very complicated.
For
topic.
some
Are
different
you-
reasons than others.
Right. Are you
Yeah.
into the horny side of Sonic?
No,
Bold question. Just throw it on the pod.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, but you know what? We had to bring it up because it certainly exists more prominently than I would say most.
True.
I mean, it exists more than I think most things in the world.
I'm sure
Yeah.
the two of you have heard my story about that.
I don't think I.
But
know.
for the pod, so Sonic Heroes, as I mentioned, I enjoyed when it was a game that was new.
Mhm.
I have to say, I think I was probably in 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it's
I
kind of
was
fucked
in
up.
first grade.
That's fucked. That's me. Anyway, so I liked the game, and there was this girl in my class who always drew Sonic, and I was like,
Nice.
"Oh, she also likes Sonic. We could talk about that.
Right.
That's how you make friends in school."
In
So
current
we
day,
talked.
right.
Yeah, we talked about Sonic. We both love Sonic, and she's a nice lady. And so I transfer to high school, or graduate, as some would say. I don't know why I transferred. But I go to high school, and I see her in the same class later on, like the English class or whatever. And I'm like, whoa, so-and-so from middle school. Like, what's going on? That's crazy. How's Sonic been treating you? And she's like, I'm still... Oh, my bad, Time Wizard. She's like, I'm good. I'm still drawing. And like, I saw her drawing, and I was like, oh, word, can I look at those? And she's like, yeah. And so she hands me a notebook, and I'm like, this is sick. And it's just like, fucking SBO the Chameleon, everyone's favorite.
Love him.
Sonic
I do
and
like
Shadow the
SBO.
Hedgehog. And then I flipped one page too far.
Very nice.
Uh-oh.
And
Is this commission work?
no, it was for pleasure, for her own leisure, just for fun.
Yeah.
But it definitely was a little too raunchy, and I was like, cool. Thanks for showing me. And I gave her the notebook back.
What was it?
It was graphic. I just remember Sonic was there, Tails was there. I was actually out of my body, and I just gave the notebook back to her. I was like, "Cool, thanks for showing me." Never talked to her again. Have not seen her. Don't know what she's up to, but God rest her soul.
We should get her as a guest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
right.
yeah. Hold on.
Have her show some work.
Right.
So, I have a story related to that kind of topic.
Sure.
But as far as where I stand with Sonic, I remember liking Adventure and Adventure 2.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I only played the Dreamcast version of Adventure 2.
Oh,
I've never played Battle.
Yeah.
And,
Well, the only thing they added was a 2-player mode,
that's
really.
right. I
So
think you
Yeah,
told
yeah.
me that. So it's like, okay, pretty much the
same
thing.
fucking shit.
Right.
Yeah.
So now you can both listen to Pumpkin Hill at the same time.
Right.
Perfect. I am a fan of Genesis, Sega CD era
Ooh,
aesthetic.
Sonic Mania, perhaps.
So it was funny when I played Sonic Mania. I was just like, I was getting nostalgic for the type of frustration I felt when I was a kid
Mhm.
playing that. I was just like, wow, they perfectly emulated how
Mhm.
frustrating Sonic can be. But we'll always love the music of like old Sonic
For sure.
and just the general look. I don't think there's anything that quite emulates that.
No.
So I do like that a lot. I liked playing those games a lot. But even as a kid, I could see where they're like, Mario's more fun
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
more stable.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I'm glad it exists.
But I actually forgot a funny story about Sonic Adventure 1.
Yeah.
Was I never had a Dreamcast. It was like the one console I just missed growing up.
Mhm.
And I liked Sonic at the time, like previously, because I remember playing Sonic 2 on the Genesis and all that. And my friend in school, or like my friends in general, had another friend. I wasn't really friends with him, but like I would hang out with them,
Right.
and then they'd hang out with him, and sometimes we would meet up. And one time he had a birthday party, and I was invited because I was in his class. Not because we were friends, I was just as old as he was.
Right. Love
and
that.
so I go over his house. He's got a Dreamcast, which is huge for me.
It's the
Right.
craziest looking thing at the time when it came out, too.
And the memory card had like a little Tamagotchi screen on it. Crazy. And I've never seen it before. He had a Dreamcast, and everyone else didn't care as much because they had been over already.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Oh yeah, you like we'll hang out.
Right.
You can play it, John. You can." And so like I would go over, and like they would watch me play Sonic Adventure,
That rocks.
and then I would just like be having a blast, and they'd be like, "Whoa, yeah, you're so sick at Sonic."
Yeah.
I don't know. They're just a little weird, but. Eventually, it turned into like me just going over to Steve's house and playing his Dreamcast, playing through Sonic Adventure with my friends, watching me play Sonic Adventure, and I never talked to him ever again.
No.
Like it just we never
Like-
really were friends. Sorry again, time was weird. So it was. It's not like we like stopped talking. It was just like I beat the game. Like
Right.
what reason?
There's
Right,
no
I got no
for me
reason to
see
go
you
back.
ever
My bad.
again.
Yeah.
Come back when Sonic come
Yeah.
talk to me when Sonic Adventure,
Adventure 2 comes out, yeah. So yeah, that was me going to my friend's house to go to his friend's house to play Sonic Adventure. It was a good game.
Why? I mean,
Why
So-
does Sonic?
why does Sonic? So like, I
It's good
for
fun.
those of you who don't know, these two know, I would sell art at tables.
That's crazy. Where would they find it?
Where
Where would they find the art?
Yeah.
find the art.
Oh, your number. I'll put your Twitter in the fucking intro.
Oh,
so
oh,
that-
yeah,
for
thank
sure.
Yeah.
For a couple times that I sold art, I said, "Oh, I'll do $10 to $15 commissions.
Nice.
Whatever you want me to draw, I'll draw." And this one girl,
That's bold. Yeah.
yes, especially at any convention involving stuff of this nature, we had this one girl. She must have been in her. I couldn't tell.
Oh, I
she
remember this woman.
Yeah, were you? You were there.
I like that
right?
Max says girl. You say woman. So she's. I can tell what kind of age range she is.
Right.
Girl or woman age.
Yeah,
Like early 20s.
I would say, yeah, I'd say that too. And very sweet, very nice. Wanted me to draw her Sonic OC, who had a crush on Shadow the Hedgehog.
Who doesn't?
Wanted to have me draw them like just sitting on a hill together. Nothing was
Platonically?
Hands.
yeah, platonically.
Okay.
Just like Shadow looking like that typical anime
Right.
anti-hero.
Right,
Just like,
right.
I don't give a shit about
I don't care about
anything.
this hill. Yeah.
Apathetic. looking
Right.
Very
ass.
apathetic,
Right.
absolutely. And her OC was this girl who had a crush on him, and she
Right.
wanted
I
me to
love-
draw him like looking kind of like, oh, Shadow.
I love that that's her defining trait too.
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, not only that, she then proceeded to describe to me all the lore behind her character.
I mean, it
what
would
they
help
were
with the
into.
drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true, yeah.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
I honestly was just like, give me all of it.
Yeah.
But she had a seat behind the table while
Okay.
she told me about the lore.
You know it's bad when you're like, "Hey, tell me about something," and the person pulls up a chair.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where it was just like, I don't know how to tell you to leave, but I need you to.
And you know it's not ending anytime soon.
No, it's not ending
Yeah.
anytime soon. But yeah, no, people have such a lot of awakenings, I imagine, come through Sonic, whether
Oh,
they're
yeah.
sexual or
Yeah.
otherwise.
Well, it's funny too because like I don't give them a hard time because like I see that same creative like input or effort in other things. Like
Yes.
some people make a D&D character they love and like write the backstory for that.
Right.
Some people get into whatever D&D is an RPG, but whatever other RPG. You know, some people like their Dragon Age, their Mass Effect, their
Of
whatever
course.
RPG, and they like really put their creative effort into that.
Yeah.
It's so funny that somehow Sonic also is like an outlet for that.
It's amazing how eternal it feels too.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
Sega could continue to put out the shittiest
Yeah.
games ever, and it does
Garbage.
not
Yeah.
matter.
Right.
It is the identity of those characters that stand some sort of test of time, and I don't know what that
So,
is.
I do have a quick question about Sonic.
Okay.
So, the Sonic movies. Have we all seen Sonic the
Yes.
Hedgehog 2?
Yeah.
I know John and I
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
it together.
Get fucked, Max.
Destroyed.
My man.
No,
Um,
this was
what-
at Kyle's birthday, right?
It was,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's why I was there too.
Oh, fuck, you're right.
Get unfucked.
Oh, no.
I totally forgot that. I'm sorry. I just sat next to
Yeah,
John.
yeah.
The
No,
movie
that's
did it
okay.
more in my mind.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Once again, I took your word for it, and I look like a fool.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So they confirmed Sonic 3 is coming out. It's going to be in production, all this bullshit. And they supposedly focusing more on Adventure and Adventure 2.
Okay.
In
Well,
the
yeah,
storyline.
they did a little teaser
Right.
for that. Yeah.
So do you think in this next movie we will get to see Dr. Eggman appear on like a Times Square billboard and announce his terroristic plan to destroy the Earth with what the fuck is it called? Egg Colony?
Yeah,
That sounds on brand, frankly.
The Ark? You mean
Yeah,
the
the Ark. I'm sorry,
Right.
Egg Colony is his big mega ship in Sonic Adventure
Right.
1.
Yes, yeah.
So
I think that hasn't aged well.
I don't think it will
I
fly.
don't think terror attacks are
Right.
too
I don't
cool.
think like
Yeah.
What's the gauge of
What if he
destruction
does that-
porn in movies now?
Right.
destruction porn.
Yeah, they used
Yeah.
to call like all those movies that were like end of the world porn, where it's just like
Like 2012.
20.
Yeah, with
like
John
2012.
Cusack, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just like everything getting obliterated.
There's not too much nowadays. I mean, obviously you got like, your kaiju movies coming out, like
Sure.
Godzilla King of Monsters and
Right,
stuff.
right.
But
Even that's less about that nowadays too, right? It's just
Right.
like
it's
It's
more
where-
about the interpersonal connection between
Yeah.
human and monster.
Right.
Bullshit.
monster and human politics.
Right.
when Dwayne the Rock Johnson in
In
Rampage,
Rampage.
says
Yeah.
he's my
Friend.
best friend.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Like,
Yeah, I just imagine the
shoot
Rock
myself.
like,
Dabs up the
Just-
giant monkey.
Monkey like puts his pinky out. He's like, yeah, like dabs him up.
I learned today, Dwayne R. Johnson.
Why'd you say Dwayne Dark Johnson?
Dwayne the Dark Johnson.
What did you learn?
Is
What did you learn?
is the cousin of the current wrestler. I actually don't know. I haven't watched wrestling in a while, of Roman Reigns. That was like the only reason Roman Reigns got in.
I know that.
Supposedly was because of his connections with The Rock.
Cool.
But I forget where I was going. Oh, Sonic 3 movie.
Okay, yeah, Roman Reigns.
So yeah, Roman Reigns.
Roman
quick
Reigns for
sidebar.
yeah.
Quick sidebar. Roman Reigns. But Sonic Adventure or Sonic Movie 3. I want Eggman to make a terroristic threat.
Okay,
You will have to.
That's the whole point.
That's it. And I want to see Pumpkin Hill.
Yes, we got. I don't know where it is or exists in the
Will we
Right.
universe,
hop in this next movie?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have in the other movies.
right? With the
That's right.
rings.
Right?
Yeah, the rings are portals for some
Yeah.
fucking reason.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't hate that jump. I thought I would, but I don't.
I don't. I mean, I thought it was weird when they sent Eggman to the Mushroom Planet
Yeah.
and he went like full castaway about it.
Right. Isn't that where Mario's from?
Yeah, Mushroom Kingdom,
Right, yeah.
actually. Yeah.
It's crazy.
In the show, in the first episode of the show,
The Mario show.
yeah, and the live action segments that they used to have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
With,
Yeah.
Yeah, with the
Captain Lou Albano.
sure, I don't
True.
know the
Yeah.
actor's name. In one of the first episode, they walk in and Luigi turns to Mario and goes, "Mario, you got a little bit of spaghetti on your overalls." And he's supposed to say "Thank you, Luigi," but just the intonation from the actor just
Oh,
sounds
yeah.
like he really loudly goes, "Oh, fuck you, Luigi," and he just walks away.
Damn, dude. Just trying to help him out.
Embarrassing me on this children's show.
All right, slightly related point because you're talking about the Mario Brothers.
Yes,
Favorite video game adaptation of anything ever?
Oh.
honestly,
Yeah,
might be the Sonic movie.
Oh, okay.
The Sonic movie really fucking killed it for
they
me.
were. Yeah, they were on the nose with that.
I'd have to put more thought into it, but my gut reaction, probably because I was
Okay.
just talking about it,
Right.
but I really, really enjoyed the Sonic movie. I had a great time.
All right,
with that.
Max. Right off the top of your head, no thought about it. Well, what's the first thing that even comes to your mind?
For a video game adaptation. Now, are we saying video game adaptation of a movie? Can it be in a movie form or can it be another film form?
Or I'll spin it to you this way: it can be a show or movie that got turned into a video game.
I guess because then Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, that's Spider-Man 2 is obvious. Yeah, you're right.
But any answer.
Oh,
This is
man.
a fake
Okay.
question for content.
This
anyway.
isn't my real answer, but it's
Okay.
the first thing that can come to mind. There was an OVA for Ninja Gaiden that came out. That was actually kind of sick and
Okay.
oddly dark, but
Yeah.
it was like it worked for what it was, I
Okay.
guess.
That makes me think of the Bayonetta anime. That's just the plot
I
of
forgot that
Bayonetta.
there
Right.
Yeah.
was.
Not my answer, but it does make me think. It's like, yeah, it's just good.
Right.
Makes you feel good in the pants.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in. But yeah, it was good. But no, I think my answer would probably be. Wow, a lot of them suck. Actually,
Yeah, they're hard.
I'm really going
They're-
down.
Good
the
ones
list.
are hard to come across.
Man, we went through this recently too because we were talking about like the highest earning video game movie.
What is that?
I think it's Sonic now, is it not?
It's
I think now it is.
Yeah.
Also one that's up there for me, but just because it's so fucking funny, the Monster Hunter movie.
Oh
Man,
my god, I didn't even see that.
So we watched that. We were planning on watching that for a while, and it was you, me,
Jeff,
and Tara.
Tara, my girlfriend.
And we were like, oh yeah, we're just gonna watch this. And Tara has arachnophobia.
Terrible arachnophobia.
And for some reason, this Monster Hunter movie made the primary monster
Nersilla.
A bunch of giant spider monsters just all the time.
Nice.
So it
Love
was,
that.
Yeah.
She got just terrified the whole movie, which is really funny. I do have to say, my favorite bit when the main woman, right, and her army squad are going in through the funny portal that leads you to the Monster Hunter world. One of the guys, he takes out his sniper, look at the Diablos that's charging him, and for the eye that's going to be in the scope, he squints that eye and does this.
Okay. I forgot about that.
And I have one of my favorite pictures ever. I took that. It was in the trailer, and I saw that, and I laughed really hard at it. So I took a screenshot and drew his eye to the scope, and then out of the scope, it just question marks.
That's good. That's good. Good comment.
Yeah, those Paul W.S. Anderson movies.
Yeah, with that same woman.
Mila Jovovich.
Yeah, I wanted to call her Joanna Jovovich, but you're right.
Resident Evil also, could be on someone's list.
It's you know what? It's on a list for people who don't even play those games. Those movies were
insanely popular.
Insanely popular
for an entirely different canon.
Yeah,
right. Totally different characters.
Well, there's that new live action one that just came out on Netflix.
That one's getting destroyed in the Rotten Tomatoes.
Is it really? I was kind of hopeful of it. But yeah, I knew it would be bad, but I was hopeful.
It's getting beat up.
Oof. Also, randomly speaking, of Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of this yesterday. Do either of you guys remember there was one Ninja Gaiden game that came out on PS3?
Yes.
And their use of the DualShock 3 controller that they advertised, right? They were like, this one uses the DualShock 3, and you could really use the motion or whatever, right? Uh-huh. And then it was just to control the female ninja's boobs. You could just do this and make her move.
Tolero boxing, eat your heart out.
Bro, it was crazy. It was you would just get control of this female ninja, and you would just use your DualShock 3 and just go woo, and it would just make her boobs go wow. It's craziness.
Astonishing. Also,
I don't even remember that. No.
I think it was Zeta, Ninja Gaiden Zeta. Is that a thing?
There's 3, which actually was not made by the guy who did the remake, the new 1 and 2.
Right.
He left, I think, Team Ninja by that point. But
I like the one on NES.
Team Ninja.
Team Ninja.
Cool name. Yeah. Better than Team Sonic.
Yeah. A low bar. But yeah. Speaking of bars, I have one topic I didn't touch on yet that we put on the topic bar.
Yes.
And I also, when I put a topic on the topic chart, I like it to be ambiguous.
Right.
So this is a story. The topic is written for the listeners at home. Luna bars made me trans.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember the first time I had a Luna bar, I think my mom bought them. And she just had them in the house. And I was super hungry, looking for a snack.
They're good.
And
tasty,
there was a white chocolate one.
Yes.
And I was like, I like white chocolate. I'm going to eat this. And I'm eating it. I'm just throwing it back.
Yes.
And I'm just bored as hell. I'm like a child also at this point. And I read the wrapper. And it's Luna bars are perfectly designed for women. To for all of the nutrients that they need. And I was like, holy shit. I messed up. I love this. What does that mean? So basically what I wanted to ask y'all is have you ever enjoyed something that you quote unquote weren't supposed to?
Well,
you watched Sailor Moon growing up?
Oh,
yes.
Did you have too many Luna bars?
I used to play with my sister's Polly Pockets. And one day my mom found out and yelled at me really bad.
No, you get 12-inch G.I. Joes. They're too small for you.
Well, no, that's why they made Mighty Max, because that was the boy Polly Pocket.
Right.
Did you ever get those?
No, that was actually after my time. Mighty Max sort of got discontinued, but then Polly Pocket continued.
R.I.P. to Mighty Max.
Yeah. But yeah, I used to fuck with Polly Pockets. Me and my sister would just play with her Polly Pockets. And then, my mom found out one day. She buzzed into my sister's room, and I immediately was frozen in fear. I messed up.
I love your mom after stopping you from playing whatever video game the first time.
Right.
Was nice. Matt's back on the straight and narrow. Nothing's gonna go wrong, and then she just busts in and sees you playing with Polly Pockets, and she's like,
I can't. You get back to that snuff simulator you're playing right now.
God, can't you be like the rest of the kids playing Bayonetta? Like,
yeah. Like, actually, you know what? I remember. So I had Mighty Max as a kid, and I remember I went over to a family friend's house, and she had Polly Pocket. Obviously, similar energy.
Yeah.
You open up this little set that's kind of like almost pocket sized.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh. This is actually like I
remember Mighty Max now that you're talking about it because I had one of them.
You had one of them?
Yeah. I can't remember like what set.
Yeah.
But if I go and look at like Google images for Mighty Max, I could definitely pick out this.
They're cool.
Yeah,
like
they're
just
sick,
like fun little dioramas you can play with. And Polly Pocket was like, oh, this is cool too. This is all good. But like you. Had a Luna bar, saw that it was for women. I was just like, I took this away from a woman.
Yeah,
who needed it.
right. It's messed up.
A woman in need.
It's like lying for a scholarship or something.
Right.
like, this Luna bar could have gone to someone who needed it. And here I am, I'm just eating it for fun. So yeah, I had that thought, and I was like, I wonder if anyone else made the same terrible mistake that I did.
Not with Luna bars. But.
I can't think of anything else that we would have had, but like wasn't for me. But I was just like, yeah, but I like this. This is fine. Yeah, I liked Sailor Moon. That was my first anime.
Cardcaptor Sakura. I watched.
Yeah.
I definitely knew. I was like, I watched that one in secret. So I was like, this is. I don't know. This is. But also, that's just the downside of growing up with two brothers. It was just like if I got caught watching that.
Right. Boy, same thing with my sister. Yeah, she would make fun of you about that shit. But yeah, I mean, there was that. My family was fucking weird too, because I would watch like girly shit and they'd be like, "What the fuck, you're a boy," right? But then I'd watch like the anime Air Gear, and they got a lot of like pervy moments in it.
Yeah.
But it's about like just dudes going fast on roller skates.
Hell
it's
yeah,
cool
brother,
as shit.
yeah.
But they'd like see the pervy scenes and be like, "What the fuck? You're a kid." And I'm like, "What am I supposed to do here, bro?" Like,
they have like a flow chart of
things to yell at.
Yeah.
It's very funny though.
You can't win.
Yeah, I can.
Oh,
yeah.
Actually, I stay winning.
In my adult life, I stay winning.
I gotta start.
Yikes! Kind of weird now you said it.
Yeah. Ooh.
I just applied for a new job.
Word.
Yeah.
Okay. What?
I haven't heard anything back yet.
Okay, I mean, you did just apply.
Right.
I saw you do it before we started recording.
I applied Friday, but it seems kind of interesting. I'm hopeful on it, but we'll see what goes.
Do you get to do more at-home work?
It's all at home, actually, which I'm hella excited for.
Hell yeah.
Very big fan of the work-from-home revolution.
Yeah, true.
Honestly,
yeah.
I'm going to try and do that, too.
Commuting to work makes me want to die.
I know. I luck out because I get to go northbound on the highway, I get to evade
yeah.
traffic. But for all my southbound family, I'm sorry. You have to deal with so much garbage.
Thankfully, I am a southbound person, but I literally get on one exit and off the next one. So I just stay in the exit lane.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I just get to complain if I want to, but not.
What should be a 20-minute commute takes me an hour. And I'm like, But I do have to admit, there was one time I had to check myself, right? Because
Were you at risk of wrecking yourself? Or?
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
I was getting a little too crazy.
Yeah.
With it. I was just not having it one day. I was fucking mad as hell, and driving was just making me more mad. And I caught myself just turning my brain off while driving, and just on my phone while driving, opening Twitter, and I was like, no, and just that shit down.
That's crazy.
I was
you really just
close.
had to fire off one good one.
Just a quick tweet.
It's always what the dog doing.
Driving
Never
sucks.
how the dog do it.
Yeah, dude. I wrote that tweet on last night.
I was going to put that as a title for this episode.
Very high.
That's a good one.
I liked that one, but I was like, is it too old? Because I saw a very weird old video, and they made a "What the Dog Doing," and I came to my head. But
just mentioning driving, I remember I went to Disney World when I was a kid. I was I was younger than 8, and they were showing just cartoons from their catalog in this big theater.
Oh, sweet!
Have either of you ever seen the one where Goofy has road rage?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I
Yeah.
love Goofy. So.
It's so
All of those, all those Disney deep cuts are where the real, like the real quality stuff is. Yeah.
Just like, oh, he turns into a different person. They give him a completely different name.
Oh, yup.
And it's just like, yeah, exactly. Right? It's just like, I'm not gonna take this.
You seen that old Disney cartoon where Donald Duck? It was a World War II cartoon. Donald Duck does the wrong salute.
Yeah.
There's that, and was there another one that was also just like, ooh, that is of that time and that time alone, or is that the only
Yeah, a
one
lot
from
of their
Disney?
catalog.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
probably,
lot of
yeah,
them,
a lot of the
Their
That's true.
song of the
Yeah,
South,
right.
There's
Yeah.
that.
They
Yeah.
actually, I got to go on
Splash Mountain.
Splash Mountain one of the last few times
Before it changed?
Before they redid it. I also got stuck on it for an hour.
Ooh.
So yeah, wouldn't recommend it. Whatever the theming is.
We're so sorry that you're stuck. Here's all of Song of the South.
Yeah.
We're gonna play for you. Oh no.
Yeah, all of that problematic stuff we're getting rid of. Yeah, here's some exposure therapy. Like, just stuck. And the worst part is, dude, I got stuck like at the goal line. Like 2 cars ahead of us. Those people got to get let off first. Then they went all the way around.
That's
and
terrible.
I was just like, bro, if whoever, like, if Stacy threw up 5 more seconds later, I could have been off. I could have been on the ride. The best part, / the worst part, is they're like, hey, super sorry for the inconvenience. Here's like a free express pass for the rest of the day. But it was like 7 p.m. So the rest of the day was like one more ride. So we did the 7 doors real quick, which had the longest wait.
Right.
They're like, it evened out, maybe. Because it would have been an hour wait to do that ride.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, there was Song of the South traumatized me as a child, which is pretty fun.
I hope you don't expand on that. I hope you just...
You know the like vultures on the top?
Yeah.
And they're like, these guys aren't going to make it. Whatever. Those guys scared the fuck out of me as a kid. I had nightmares for a month after that.
Right.
I never saw that movie. I've actually never.
Really?
What are they like? What are the vultures like?
Well, in the ride.
Oh, in the ride.
Yeah.
Oh.
So right before you go down the mountain, right?
Yeah.
The splash.
The mountain of the splash ride, yeah.
Where the splash happened. They like, there's these 2 like buzzards up top sitting on a tree branch.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, these
They
guys are...
ridicule you.
Yeah, they're like making fun of you, and they're like insinuating you're not going to make it down
There's
the
actually
hill
a
or
guy,
whatever.
there's a camera in like the buzzard's eye, and there's a guy in a control room, and he hurls personalized insults at you as you go by. Those glasses?
Yeah, so that happened. And then also at that same Disney World trip, what do you call it? That was where Goofy actually ruined my sense of time for life. So my parents decided my very first watch that they were going to get me when I was a child at Disney World, before I knew how to read a watch correctly.
Or at all, I'd imagine. I don't know.
Right, yeah. Was a Goofy watch that told time backwards.
Oh, no.
So it went counterclockwise instead of clockwise.
Your dad is so funny. He's like, here, son, here's manga and a Goofy watch. Like, good
Here's how to
luck.
read
Yeah,
backwards
here's the-
and tell time
Yeah, you read
backwards.
right to left and you tell time. Dude, shouts to time with you, bro.
Yeah,
Very
really.
funny.
For correcting the mistakes.
And it was also even more fucked up because the minute hand was the minute hand was the short hand and the hour hand was the
Most
long hand.
useless clock I've ever heard
So it
of.
was like if you were an adult and in on the joke, it worked great.
Right.
But as a child who couldn't tell time,
Yeah.
I hit 2nd grade and they started giving me those clockwork sheets.
Oh,
And my parents were like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "I'm following my watch."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Uh-oh."
Goofy gave you Chrono-dyslexia.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
It's since improved, but
Also
man.
a good title for the episode.
Goofy gave me Chrono-dyslexia. That's a really good one, actually.
Oh, man. Insane, dude. Insane.
Time is a
There he
man-made
is.
construct.
After that one. Anything else you'd like to touch on while we're here?
Money.
I do want to touch on money. You feel me?
Hey, if you're like
Yeah.
us,
You
you
see
know
the
you.
shoes?
Yeah.
You see the
We
money?
That's good.
We like money just as much as I think anybody.
Yeah.
So if you like us,
Give
us
money.
money.
I was gonna say get yourself money.
Oh,
Get
yeah,
yourself-
yeah. Get yourself
get
money.
yourself get
Yeah.
yourself a little something.
Yeah.
Get yourself a little.
On us. Get $5 on us.
Not like we don't have any promo codes or anything.
No. Just find
Next
someone
time you
on the
get
street.
$5, think of us.
Yeah.
There it is. You don't have to give it to us either. Just think of us. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. Just be like they affirmed this into my
Right.
life. Right?
Also, I realized just now, after an hour in, never did an intro.
Yeah, I was
Totally
thinking
forgot.
about that about
Yeah.
20 minutes ago. I
Well,
was like, damn.
we just kept talking. We just like rolled one story into the other.
I was going to say, I thought this first hour was just the cold open.
Oh, true.
Oh,
Yeah,
true.
Welcome to the pod.
It's actually a 24-hour
Yeah, so,
podcast.
okay, buckle
Spend a
in.
day with
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
We're hoping to die on the
Ooh,
podcast.
I mean,
just
what
continue.
actually, yeah, that could be a good PR stunt.
Right?
Save
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
We'll see how far we go.
Once the ratings dip.
Yeah. That's when you really jump the shark. Also,
Dang,
welcome.
Yes. Oh, welcome to the pod.
Yeah.
Thanks
Goodbye.
for tuning in.
Yeah.
And
We
goodbye,
haven't even
yeah.
said our names.
No, we haven't.
No.
So
Do we reveal that?
We'll
Should
do-
we do a
yeah,
post?
but after we'll cut it. Then we'll. All right. So this is for anyone who watched all the way to the end. You'll know if the intro was done after.
Yeah.
But all right, y'all. We'll see you.
Bye. I love you.